last cup up. Okay, hello everybody. How are you guys doing? My name is Kara Coton. I'm the founder of Quadraclicks Gaming. And today I'll be presenting to you a new computer mouse device that I invented, known as the Quadraclicks RBT, right above touch. Hello everybody. Mouse. How are you guys doing? My name is Kara Coton. This is what it looks like. I'm the founder. So, just to give you a view. And today I'll be presenting to you. I've been using the same mouse for the past 3 years or so, so it's a little worn, but it works really well for me. And I will start the presentation. So let's go to page 1. This is what it looks like. So I created this product back in 2016, but I had this idea all the way from 2013, and we filed for multiple patents. US patents, worldwide patents, PCT, national stage, going to different countries. So I've invested a lot in this project. We officially launched our business in 2016, and we've been operating for the past 5 years. People weren't always taking things seriously until you tell them there's something wrong with the current product's designs. And personally, I found the computer mouse to be causing a lot of pain to my hand. And the current ergonomic mouse designs just weren't doing this job, right? And I found out that the holding position while having your hands slightly slanted to the side is comfortable, but it doesn't solve the root of the problem. And the root of the problem with the computer mouse is how you're clicking it, which is through the fingertips. And each time I click with the fingertips from my index and middle finger, the tensions will be rising and accumulating inside the carpal tunnel area. And over time, it will cause a lot of issues like swollen and numbness and tingling and sensations all in this area. I discovered the Quadraclicks RBT mouse design by accident. And once I started using it, that's when I realized by clicking from the major knuckle and the second knuckle, basically in this area here, while keeping your fingers straight and elevated so that your hand stays in a natural position like this, what it allows to happen is the forces which comes from the clicks are actually accumulating past the carpal tunnel all the way to the forearm. So this is where the tensions are basically being held. And because these are major muscle groups, it doesn't tear down any tender tissues inside the carpal tunnel, and that's how we're able to avoid the problem. So I sent this out to Carpal RX. They're a medical clinic specifically focusing on carpal tunnel treatments based in Florida, and Dr. Mike Zanikis is the physician and the medical director that agreed to evaluate it. It took him about 4 months or so to come back with the results, but it was totally worth it. And so we now have actually 2 doctors backing our claim for carpal tunnel prevention and reducing tendinopathy and tendon stress in the carpal tunnel and hand problems. The second doctor is Dr. Brian Kane. He is a physical therapist and a hand therapist from Kaiser Permanente based in Los Angeles area. So in 2019, I sent a box of 4 samples to Blender. Blender, for those of you who are in CG, may know Blender as the free open source software for CAD design and animations and all that. So they come back, in 2019 and told us that their teams begin to use it and they absolutely love it. The fact that their hands don't get tired and it's helping them to boost their creativity levels and basically working a little better. We've also sent out a couple of samples to gaming organizations today, like BT Gaming. Actually, today we are proud sponsors of Bear Claw Esports, uh, Esports Stadium, Arlington, Texas, ESA, and uh, Great Gaming, GR Gaming, based in Hong Kong. And we also have a few other on a like GG tourneys, like gaming tournaments organizers, and a few other ones that we're working with. We've also just recently had a great product review from Humber College, based in Canada. This happened last week. So I want to talk about why all the current mouses today cost copper tunnel. And the reason is very simple. If you think about it, the same design, the same kind of like one-piece design where you're clicking with your fingertips mouse hasn't really changed in the past 40 plus years. And this is because in the old days, when the computer mouse was first created invented by Douglas Engelbart, they weren't envisioning a usage for the computer mouse and the computer itself like we are seeing it today. Back then, it was mostly because people were using it casually, and computer was supposed to be doing all the hard work. And they didn't see modern day workers, designers, engineers, and young people to be on their computer for more than 8 hours a day, clicking and clicking and clicking. They didn't see any of that. So the design was really made for people who are using it for a short period of time. And most of the times, people will be standing and moving around. So it was not a stationary tool. It was not a stationary tool. And today, since 20 years ago, the dot-com boom, our habits have really changed. We went from using the computer occasionally, a few minutes a day, to hours and hours a day. And by sitting down, that posture really changes. Because if you think about it, when you're standing, your hand is usually like this, right, in relation to the mouse, because you're standing and it's holding in this position. And with a regular mouse, it kind of makes sense because your weight is what's controlling the device in its location. But today, because we are sitting most of the times, that angle shift kind of moves the mouse in this position, and your hand is no longer expanded. Instead, it goes to this position, kind of in a curled up way, where to control the mouse. And each time you click it, the mouse goes backward, but with that jitter motion, because the click force itself is very unstable, and it causes the mouse and your hand having to do extra amount of work by holding and squeezing. I'm going to do a quick demo real quick with our product, and you can see why this mouse, the RBT mouse, doesn't give you that jitter click motion. So this is how I'm holding the RBT mouse. So from the get-go, you can see my hand is in a more expanded position. It allows my hand to fully expand and not having to go to the clutch position like I normally do with the regular mouse. And what I'm doing now is, without clicking, I'm holding the mouse by simply resting my fingers on top of these two buttons. So the RBT mouse is designed so that the tip of the mouse button clickers are not really meant for clicking. They're meant for finger support. You click from back here. So these parts are stabilized for finger support. Now I can rest my hand there and move it without holding it using my thumb and ring finger or pinky. And this alone lets me use the mouse like as if it's a trackpad for all directional navigations, both left to right and forward and back. And what's the advantage of this? Well, your hand is not forced to move the mouse from side to side by holding it like this the whole time. And that helps you loosen the grip, which comes from the thumb and the pinky in this half circular muscle group. So it doesn't affect it doesn't cause it fatigue as easily as you would with a regular mouse grip. And when you click from the major knuckle and the second knuckle, basically the first digit here in this area, that's how you click. So as you can see, each time a click is performed, there is very minimal movement, but the forces underneath the fingers doesn't create a hydrostatic pressure buildup from the back of your hand either, because I'm not hovering, right? When I'm not clicking, I can just rest here, but when I do need to click, I just click. And this allows my hand to stay relaxed the whole time I'm using a computer mouse. So this is for a demo, it's not plugged in. I actually have, this is the one that I'm using now. Okay, so let's go to the next slide. Yeah, so the typical time for recovery, if you've had CTS surgery, carpal tunnel release surgery, it can range from 3 months to a year and up. And oftentimes, the recovery that you're expecting is not guaranteed. Meaning, some people, for some people, because of their work habit, they'll likely have to go back for a second surgery and even sometimes a third surgery, just so that the habit which people get by clicking the mouse with their fingertips will accumulate the um, same kind of carpal tunnel problem that they had before. So the root of the solution that we are suggesting here is we want you to change your habit, which is we want to change how you click permanently so that you don't get that problem in the future. What I'm about to say now is not medically backed because we haven't done the study on this part yet. But from a personal testimonial standpoint, how I solved my own carpal tunnel issue is that after using the RBT mouse that I created for myself from the earlier prototypes, after about 18 months or so, I went from not being able to pick up a phone with my 2 fingers like this, because it would hurt me and would drop it, to having my full grip force back, that I can get my iron grip when I meet somebody. I can still give them a firm handshake and gain that confidence back again. So what I'm saying here is your body have the ability to heal itself if you let it. And RBT mouse design takes the sabotage or the hindrance out of the way, so your hand is no longer being forced to tear itself down through a repetitive motion that causes harm. I hope I'm making sense here. Okay, so next slide. The title of this presentation is Saving 100 Million American Hands. Well, we have about 100 million Americans today working in America. We have 100 million working Americans, and 1 out of 16 people today are diagnosed with some form of repetitive strain injury with their hands. And RSI is also the most reported cases of surgeries in the United States. And with the rise of IT industry and technology, we get about 5 to 6 million new cases of carpal tunnel diagnosed every year, and people are really suffering from this illness. But besides surgery and minimal evasion treatments, there's really not a whole lot going on that we can do. We lose. So I actually did some research on this on the next page. So we sell, as an industry, there's about $2 billion worth of computer mice being sold in the United States every year. But the number of dollars that are actually spent on treating carpal tunnel, as well as work compensation, is also about $2 billion a year. So in terms of economical value, we're not really making any progress here. For those of you who are interested in this data, you can contact me later at my email at the end of the presentation, and I'll be happy to share the source of this data with you. But I'm pretty sure you can look it up yourself as well. So this is a graph to show where the stress is coming from. I already explained this, which is when you're clicking using your fingers, these are theta angles. If you're looking at the knuckles, this is the major knuckle, the second knuckle, and the third knuckle. But then the theta angles, the more you have, the more stress it's going to create on your hand. And we are trying to avoid having to create the forces that's being used on every theta angle by minimizing it. So RBT on the right, you will see that it helps your hand stays relaxed even while you're working. Not just how you hold the mouse, but also how you click and how you are navigating. And that should conclude my presentation. This is my phone number and email address. If you have any questions, anybody, feel free to ask me. Okay. Anybody here? Where do you sell your product? So you can find it on either Amazon or quadraclicks.com, and that is www.quadraclicks.com. If you buy from Amazon, I think they offer a 1-month warranty, money back warranty. But if you buy from our website directly, then we offer a 100 days money back guarantee, and with an option of extending that for the product warranty to be 3 years back, 3 years money back. If not money back, 3 years parts replacement for the product. We have been on the market. How long have we been on the market? We have been on the market since 2016. So this is our 6th year in business. We've been around in different markets as well. So for US, Canada, Korea, Japan, and China. Where are most of my customers? So we do a lot of direct sales, and some of those are not done online. We do sell to architect firms and engineering firms. Some of those are also universities. Actually, we just recently got a review back from Humber College. They're based in Canada. All right. So I guess that was the last question. Or is there one more question? Okay, well, thank you, everybody. If you need to reach me, you can email me at quadraclicks@gmail.com, or you can call my number as well. It's on the last slide. All right, thank you very much. Eric, signing out.